dedicated to A Course in Miracles. And today we are moving through lesson 49. As always, we are going to read a few lessons preceding this one as each lesson is really built on the day's preceding. We're going to start with lesson 25. I do not know what anything is for. Lesson 26. My attack thoughts are attacking my invulnerability. Lesson 27. Above all else, I want to see. Lesson 28. Above all else, I want to see things differently. Lesson 29. God is in everything I see. Lesson 30. God is in everything I see because God is in my mind. Lesson 31. I am not the victim of the world I see. Lesson 32. I have invented the world I see. Lesson 33. There is another way of looking at the world. Lesson 34. I could see peace instead of this. Lesson 35. My mind is part of God's. I am very holy. Lesson 36. My holiness envelops everything I see. Lesson 37. My holiness blesses the world. Lesson 38. There is nothing my holiness cannot do. Lesson 39. My holiness is my salvation. Lesson 40. I am blessed as a son of God. Lesson 41. God goes with me wherever I go. And lesson 42. God is my strength. Vision is his gift. The idea for today combines two very powerful thoughts, both of major importance. It also sets forth a cause and effect relationship that explains why you cannot fail in your efforts to achieve the goal of this course. You will see because it is the will of God. It is his will, not your own, that gives you power. And it is his gift, rather than your own, that offers vision to you. God is indeed your strength, and what he gives is truly given. This means that you can receive it at any time, anywhere, wherever you are, and in whatever circumstance you find yourself. Your passage through time and space is not at random. You cannot but be at the right place at the right time. Such is the strength of God. Such are his gifts. We will have 2 3 to 5 minute practice periods today, one as soon as possible after you wake up, and another as close as possible to the time you go to sleep. It is better, however, to wait until you can sit quietly by yourself at a time when you feel ready than it is to be concerned with the time as such. Begin these practice periods by repeating the idea for today slowly, with your eyes open, looking about you. Then close your eyes and repeat the idea again, even slower than before. After this, try to think of nothing except thoughts that occur to you in relation to the idea for today. You might think, for example, vision must be possible. God truly gives. Or God's gifts to me must be mine because he gave them to me. Any thought that is clearly related to the idea for today is suitable. You may, in fact, be astonished at the amount of course-related understanding some of your thoughts contain. Let them come without censoring unless you find your mind is merely wandering, and you have let, obviously, irrelevant thoughts intrude. You may also reach a point where no thoughts at all seem to come to mind. If such inferences occur, open your eyes and repeat the thought once more while looking slowly about. Close your eyes, repeat the idea once more, and then continue to look for related thoughts in your mind. Remember, however, that active searching for relevant thoughts is not appropriate for today's exercises. Try merely to step back and let the thoughts come. If you find this difficult, it is better to spend the practice period alternating between slow repetitions of the idea with eyes open, then with eyes closed, than it is to strain to find suitable thoughts. There is no limit on the number of short practice periods that would be beneficial today. The idea for the day is a beginning step in bringing thoughts together and teaching you that you are studying a unifying thought system in which nothing is lacking that is needed, and nothing is included that is contradictory or irrelevant. The more often you repeat the idea during the day, the more often you will be reminding yourself that the goal of the course is important to you and that you have not forgotten it. Well, good morning. I am so happy to see you all. I'm just going to jump here in the chat. Brian, good morning. I'm so glad to see you. Ricky Ray, good morning. Casey, thank you. Thank you for joining. Project Taeyang, Good morning, this channel. So this morning's show is dedicated to us going through A Course in Miracles. And we read one lesson every day. A Course in Miracles is a book. And we just read one lesson every day. They have 365 and it's really, really good. And it's been really encouraging. So Jay Palacio, good morning. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. John Smith, good morning. Impazil, thank you. Thank you for my glasses. DHFH, thanks for coming. Y'all, we are, I'm going to literally go get water really fast. I'll be right back. I was dying. I wanted to circle back to a few points in this lesson because I paused and then I needed to get re-immersed because something kind of dawned on me while I was reading this. But I want to go back and actually read the intro for those of you who were coming on in the middle of it. So today's lesson, God is my strength, vision is his gift. And I'm just going to repeat the first two paragraphs. The idea for today combines two very powerful thoughts, both of major importance. It also sets forth a cause and effect relationship that explains why you cannot fail in your efforts to achieve the goal of the course. You will see because it is the will of God. It is his strength, not your own, that gives you power. It is his gift rather than your own that offers vision to you. God is indeed your strength, and what he gives is truly given. This means that you can receive it anytime, anywhere, wherever you are, and in whatever circumstance you find yourself. Your passage through time and space is not random. You cannot but be in the perfect place at the right time. Such is the strength of God. Such are his gifts. So as I was reading, I had this thought when it says, this means you can receive God's strength at any time, anywhere, wherever you are, in whatever circumstance you find yourself. I had this thought because over the last couple of months, I've been reading through this book called Letting Go by David Hawkins. And effectively the premise is that he assigns numerical value to emotions. And that for every single emotion, there's a value, such as shame is 20, and it's like on the lowest of all numerical value. And it goes all the way up to level 600, and level 600 is peace. And that's obviously a big journey to go through. But what was so interesting is that what effectively she's saying is that at any time, anywhere, any place, we can move into the strength of God, the vision of God. And I just had this thought while I was reading this. Okay, if anywhere, anytime I can access this, that means I need to be willing to let go of those lower emotions that really do keep me trapped at that lower emotional frequency. And emotional level, I guess, is a good way to say it. And even just emotional energy, that is fundamentally separating us from our ability to receive what God has to offer us anytime, anywhere, any place. And so if we want to get to that higher emotional level, such as peace or even courage is level 200, peace is level 600. So the more we kind of transcend up, we have to be willing to move through and let go every single one of those negative emotions. Sometimes those negative emotions are really addicting. Peace or depression can sometimes be addictive. Apathy, even shame, it's comfortable to us. It's what we know. And so there's a discomfort. We have to be willing to move into a place of discomfort to then get to that higher level. And as I was reading this, I remembered the Greek word of receive is lambano. So if we're going to receive something from God, and we can receive it anywhere, anytime, any place, we have to thus kind of be open-handed and let go of what we've been holding on to then receive something new. And the Greek word lambano is very active. So when we're receiving something, it translates immediately into action. It's like a soldier receiving an order. You're not sitting there passively being like, cool, thanks. I got peace. But it's no, like that peace that I receive comes in like an input, comes in, transforms me, and then it informs my output, the way that I engage with the world externally. And so if we are willing to let our emotions effectively leave the emotions behind us, the shame, the depression, the apathy, the pride, the ego, if we're willing to let go, there is something better. There is something higher, even in terms of that hierarchical order of emotional and energetic values. And peace is on the other side. Freedom is on the other side of that. Strength and courage is on the other side of that. And what a glorious way to live versus kind of being stuck in the dumps. Just jumping back here in the chat, habitual, peace is addictive. I love that. What a good point. And really what's interesting is actually to that point of peace. Oh, this is interesting. So habitual 3, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this. That peace can be addictive too. It's like there's a shadow and a light to everything. And then, yes, we are live. There's a shadow and light to everything. So we can, yes, actually be addicted to peace to the point that we actually are unwilling to have the hard conversations. So then the question is that even peace to begin with? Or might it even be, oh no, I see that I'm frozen. I froze. Now you know that we're live. We can actually be addicted to peace, where we're unwilling to have those hard conversations and we're unwilling to kind of uncover the onion layers to get to the core of the truth. And then the question is, okay, well, is that even peace to begin with? So we have to look at the integrity of the word and the integrity of what am I actually pursuing? What is this doing for me? How is this serving me? So how is shame serving me? How is depression serving me? Sometimes shame is serving us to keep us small. We don't actually then have to really try. Oh, because I'm in shame, because I'm just so not worthy. Well, but what if you believed you were worthy? How much higher of a standard would you actually hold yourself to perform, to provide, to live life, to create, to show up and make an impact? That's actually a high call. So perhaps it's easier to exist at those lower energetic frequencies than it is to level up. I had this thought the other day that the level to which we dream is the level to which we will then hold ourselves and strive. So if I'm dreaming big dreams, if I'm shooting for the stars, if I want something big for my life, then thus I need to act accordingly. But if I keep my dreams small, if I act obsequious, then I never really have to try. And I can get away with a lot by way of literally not showing up and not performing. Just jumping into the chat. Sweet Chin Music, thanks for joining. Josh B. Thanks for joining, guys. Jesus with Jacob. Attraction is magneticism. So becoming an attractive person is not to do with outward beauty, but inward beauty and mental freedom, which others crave and draws in abundance. I love that. That is so, so good. And y'all, we are attractors. We're magnetic. So you know what's a really, really good mirror moment for us? A really good moment for self-audit and self-analyzation is to look at what's going on in our external life. What am I attracting? What is coming to me? And often our external world is very reflective of our internal world. Y'all, there's always something. The last couple of weeks, it's felt rather chaotic in my life, and I've kept a thumb on the pulse of, okay, is this a lesson for me to learn? Am I kind of in this season of there's something here for me to really lean into and be changed by? Or am I somehow attracting this? Like, am I actually internal? Is this reflective of my internal world? And I've really had to ask that question. And so it goes both ways, where sometimes it really is like we're actually in the fire and we're in the wilderness and we're being cultivated and shaped. You know, when we're in the fire, the work of the fire is to burn off, is for all the dross to go so that gold can come forth. That is a painful process. It is agonizing so much of the time, yet it yields gold. So if we're willing to go through that painful process, to shed the layers of shame and depression and apathy, and then get up to courage, and then get up to joy and love and peace, y'all, that's really an exciting journey, and it's a painful one. So anyone who says, oh, it's easy to know yourself, it's easy to get to the level of peace, it wasn't easy for me. So maybe for some people it is. But y'all, when we've got these old programs that we need to shed, when we've got these old narratives that are really keeping us in the place of being small, it's hard and it's painful to get out of those. And the reason why for so many of us is because those programs were shaped for a reason. And there's a good cause as to the effect that we experience today. Not that it was good, but it's more so it's justified. So maybe you and I were in an abusive relationship. Maybe we went through our dad leaving. Maybe we went through emotional abuse from our mother. There's all these moments in our life that shape who we are today. So we have to understand the cause and the effect if we then want to change what the effect today is. We have to examine the past and make real change if we want to see anything change in the present moment and be free to dream for the future. Just going back here in the chat. Good morning. Good morning. Lucid. It's interesting you say that it holds truth and lies. I completely, she says says F the Bible and using it to control people. Y'all, I have experienced a lot of control in religious settings. And so the goal of this is to cultivate relationship. It's to cultivate relationship with our Creator, to better understand who we are in so many ways, and to better understand why are we here and what's the potency and potential of our lives. We can live big. We can really step into a future and a potential for us that's probably bigger than we ever thought. And so part of the reason why we get on here every single morning is to cultivate that part of us, that intelligence in us, because we have intellectual intelligence, we have emotional intelligence, we also have physical intelligence. There's a brilliant book. It's hard to read. It's called The Body Keeps the Score by the psychotherapist and psychiatrist Bessel van der Kolk, and he coined the term PTSD. For so long, war veterans were being thrown in mental health hospitals because they just didn't understand how the body literally remembers the trauma we went through. But we also have spiritual intelligence and spiritual data, or data in regards to the spirit, that could very well be traumatic, just like how our body remembers trauma. And so it actually is really important that we go back and understand, where has there been spiritual trauma in my life? I was hosting a knowing retreat. I'll frequently get folks together and we'll spend 3-4 days together. And we were talking about spiritual trauma for one of them, because it is fundamentally, it's near impossible to get access to something new in an area, I guess you could say, where there's been trauma. And so if we want to reprogram, we actually do need to go back and dish up, man, why is there so much anger here? Why is there so much pain? What happened? And then understanding how the decisions that we're making today in reaction to that trauma, actually, we can thank that part of us that's trying to protect us from the pain. Because if we want to learn something new, we have to let it go. We have to be willing to let go. But first we got to move through it. First we have to confront the pain that we've experienced. Suppressing it will do no good. In fact, it's usually more damaging. It's not just a neutralizer. So moving through, whether it was spiritual trauma, physical trauma, or emotional trauma. So, cool. Cuckoo. Thank you for joining. Appreciate you. Insta Instatimgram. I need to sound out these names. I am from Washington, D.C., just outside of it. Armand and JK. We just can't tell my darling. Lucid Sky. I'd love to hear from you, your perspective on this, if you've got something to add. Y'all, I think that's one of the things here that I'd love to just point out. I'm going to be wrapping up here soon in just a minute. Anytime you're disagreeing with what I'm saying, I would love to know why, rather than just saying you're wrong. It would be really, frankly, I think it'd be a good challenge for us both, for there to be some real meaning behind when you do disagree. And sometimes there's a good reason why. It's I actually had a really different experience. And I'd love to know, because we were talking about this last night on the show. I'll get on every morning and evening, and we'll talk about how, you're learning from your experience and I'm learning from mine. And yes, there are capital T truths, But so often the way that we approach the world is from our experience. We're looking at the world through a lens that was cultivated by our childhood, by our lived experiences, by where we went to school, by our culture. So many of us view the world a certain way because of experience. And so the more that we can grow and move beyond just being siloed by our own experience, shaping the way that we think and see, the more we're actually able to listen to what other people have to say, share our own experience, and be curious. Man, there's so much for us to learn. And so I want the chat here to be a place where we can do that, where we can ask some of those hard questions. Christopher Adams, good morning. He says, what you think about in the shower is what you truly care about. Isn't that a mirror for us? My gosh. Brian C., thank you. Thank you for always being wonderful. Dragon, thank you. I'm glad you're here. All right, y'all, I am going to hop off. I'm just looking through here to see if there's any other. Christopher Adams, any form of church hurt is a byproduct of human fault. So whoever said that doesn't understand God is not inconsistent with his nature. Interesting. And y'all, isn't that so interesting? So much of the trauma we experience is often done by each other. And so that's where it's like, man, if I really want to, although I will say, I felt like I experienced real betrayal from God when my brother-in-law was killed. And in that moment, that was where I really needed to go and contend with God, because either I'm wrong or he's, like either I've had really a misconstrued understanding of who he is, or he really backstabbed me. And so I really needed to contend on that front, and I needed to get my answer. There's this biblical narrative about a man who is literally wrestling with an angel all night long to get his answer. And if we want to know, I have found that in the pursuit, there is transformation. In the pursuit, we come to know. But we have to pursue. Again, do we actually want it? Because we get what we want, do we actually want to know the answers to our religious pain, to our spiritual pathway to God? Do we actually want that open? Do we want an open channel? Do we want access? I have a friend who's probably the most brilliant person I've ever met. Anytime he'll have like a vision or an experience with God, a lot of times he'll actually like recoil, because it's like so big and so powerful that he's like, I don't know if I can handle that again. And so it's almost like there's the fear factor in some ways. But man, if we can stay in love and not move into fear, that's really, really powerful, because then it's like, all right, I can lean into this experience with you and handle it with holiness and with like a sacrality. But man, I just have found that when I'm willing, God is right there to answer my questions and my rage. Clint Carr, I'm from Pennsylvania. Oh, nice. Michael, I'm here. I'm there. Oh, are you in DC? That's cool. Glenn says I'm in the UK. I would love to go to the UK later this year. Love and mercy is the only way, and it's a choice made over and over again. It's not a feeling. It's the choice of the will. Ooh, very happy. I love that. Love and mercy is a choice. Y'all, isn't that so true? We have so much power. So much power. The Walk for Peace was concluded in DC. Did you get to see the Buddhist monks? Yak, no. I heard about that on the radio. I thought that was the coolest thing. To be honest, I didn't even know that it was happening, and I was so bummed. And it was interesting timing too, that was happening right around Super Bowl Sunday and everything there. This has been a crazy weekend, y'all. Justin K. Oh, well, I feel the same way. Every time I see you guys here, it makes me so happy. Okay, y'all, I am going to jump off now. Adam, I'm sorry to leave. Come back, y'all. I actually am going to be doing, oh my gosh, I'm going to be doing 3 more shows today. Let me tell you, I have a guest coming on, a guest, Mr. J, which is super cool. He's coming on at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. And then we've got another show at, oh my gosh, we're going to be doing trivia tonight. Come back for trivia, y'all. Come back for trivia at 9 p.m. Eastern tonight. This is going to be so fun. 9 p.m. Eastern is trivia. We've got the Knowing Show with Mr. J at 2:30 today, Eastern. And then I'm going to be going live on Foundation First Marketing. I'll probably go live on Foundation First Marketing. For those of you who aren't following me there, and for those of you who want to join trivia tonight, just subscribe to my channel and you should be able to, I think you'll get notified. Y'all, do you guys get notified when I go live? I actually don't know. Let me go ahead and drop this here in the chat. That's Foundation First Marketing. I am going to try to actually go live on there earlier today. I might go live at 1:30 just before I go live with Mr. J. So let me actually put that on the calendar for myself. And that's, y'all, that's where we talk business. We talk business, marketing, branding. I have a branding marketing business. And so we talk about it for the trades. We also talk about it for just businesses in general. So join me 1:30 p.m. It's a lot of shows. You pick your favorite, but 1:30 p.m. Eastern for Foundation First Marketing. 2:30 p.m. for the Knowing Show, where that's usually where we dive deeper into emotional intelligence, intellectual intelligence, the integration thereof. And then tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern for trivia. Woohoo. Okay, thank you all. Oh, it's not clickable. Oh, weird. That's actually really good to know. I didn't know that tension driven, that you guys couldn't click on you can't pick up what I'm putting down. Well, go to Foundation First Marketing on YouTube. Let me know if that works. But Justin, oh, I'm beyond excited. Knowing podcasts is going to be huge. I will take that. I would love that. All right, y'all. Thank you so much, Brian. You're going to be there. Woohoo. Y'all have a good day. And remember today's lesson. Guys, this is a good lesson for today. I'm pulling it up one more time just to read through it. And frankly, I'm going to go do it right now, because the days that I don't do it right away, I end up kind of missing it. God is my strength. Vision is his gift. So we do it right now, and then